Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for joining. Let's go ahead and sync up our energies. Take a nice deep breath. And as you release, let any of your cares, worries, fears, anxieties, dramas in life pass through the smoke, transmuting, uplifting. Let's set our intentions for a clear reading into whatever issues you wish to look at today. So I did, in the interest of time, start with a few decks and the pre-shuffle, and I let the one card from each deck and what's underneath speak to me. And we've already got the patterns syncing up here. From this new Lemuria deck, we have under the deck Endless Opportunities, this very multidimensional aspect of seeing all the various different people, scenarios, factors within a situation, scenario, or even a pattern that you're looking at exposing, illuminating, or integrating into your life, some type of life lesson or opportunity. But Endless Opportunities is talking about our ability to perceive things other than just the obvious, the surface level. Like, let's say somebody says that even though you had plans to go out, now they can't, they've got to cancel. And, there's all kinds of things that could come up that could explain it. Then you have to look at the factors of, is this person honest? Blah, 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 before jumping to the conclusion that, it's, wasn't meant to be type of a thing. It's like, that's an easy example of how we can be less dramatic with somebody that we trust and understand. But as soon as the scenario escapes our supposed control and understanding, all of a sudden there's all these nuance and fears and anxieties coming into the equation. So the one that came out is actually crown chakra. Crown chakra connects us to our cosmic heritage and identity. It expands our understanding of things when it's properly negotiated with our energy, instead of having simply just beliefs that are black and white, yes, no, yin yang, whatever. Then there's all of these, again, with the nuance, the little variables that come into situations. Like, if you're naturally a very trusting individual and everybody else that hangs out with you, you would never suspect that they would tell a little fib, but the person involved is caring, but also has a problem saying no and setting boundaries, and says they, have to cancel because something came up. And you might think, oh, well, this person is more likely to think that they have to manufacture a reason instead of just saying, like, at the end of the day today, I don't have any more peopling left in me and I got to self-repair and I got to stay home today. There's all of these various things that can come in. So then there's the nuance of, if there is some type of masking, veil, or misunderstanding or misrepresentation, is it in fact nefarious or not? And what does that mean? So for those that are new here, when I start to channel, I often kind of come around and around like a bit of a spiral. I don't necessarily know exactly the direction of the reading, but based on these cards, it's about breaking through the self-imposed limitations of patterned understanding and knowledge, and moving beyond the constructs of the existing mind, patterning and neurons and firing sequences that we have figured out, and even coping strategies and so on. The way that we learn, the way that we approach the situation, and how we choose to navigate is also something up for our own personal flexibility. So we're talking about flexibility of mind at the most simple here. So then we have the mixed Kali Kuan Yin deck, and we have one from each. Under the deck, we have 38, the Tao. And as you notice, the background is very black. It's talking about the dark matter, the yin aspect of all possibility and potential existing within the Tao, and how this keeps coming up, and I don't want to repeat the message in excess. So I think most of us understand by now, if you're following this channel, what the Tao represents. And so it's, again, at its most simple level, it talks about how diversity is evidence of the whole. It's like diversity is just saying that you're looking at different facets, different surfaces of one gem that has many ridges, bumps and ridges. You know, like you can say this is kind of like, let's say it looks round. Well, now it looks flat. Now, where do we go from there? We can look at different angles and it might look like a triangle. And so it depends on the perspective, right? We've seen the different depictions of that in art and so on, where we can just kind of see that things, what we believe is also a series of experiences that have been filed away to create a database. And now we're breaking through the crown chakra limitations to see the endless possibilities. So the more that we expand our awareness as we're being upgraded to do so in this ascension process, the more that we're going to have to understand how we are actually taking in these light waves in different manners, subconsciously and energetically, etherically, at all times. And so yeah, I don't want to get too far off on my tangent there. So the Kali card that comes out is Mahavidya. It's number 15. So yesterday we had Mahakali, the number 16 card. We had two 16s that came out together, which I found very incredibly interesting, as though there's been this epiphany moment, either a realization or a somewhat blindsiding, unexpected development that has taken us by shock, storm, surprise, whatever you want to call it. And the need, therefore, to then adjust to changing, shifting winds and sands of time. With this card, we see a couple different things, but with the tongue on the plate, it's talking about being able to listen to wisdom, to move beyond the spoken word for understanding. So again, with that beginning example, the friend who says that they aren't able to come, it's like the surface level words say tonight's a no-go. Some people can debate. Some people would say, oh, maybe next time, let's make a plan for tomorrow. Or, you know, oh, well, maybe I could come and bring you chicken noodle soup if you're not feeling well, or, you know, whatever. You know, there's multiple options and there's multiple ideas that go into that. Whether I'm gonna just let you guys unpack that one. I think it's clear. So under the Tao Te Ching Art of War deck, because we have the Tao here, both sides of underneath are closed. And so I'm going to take that as a sign that we've got all we need in this number here. I am going to just do a little censorship. I'm not sure what YouTube's deal is with words and spoken words, but it seems like people are mashing up words on purpose so that they don't get tagged for inappropriate content. So I'm going to just be proactive in that. So forgive me. This is number 55. It says, he who is in harmony with the Tao is like a newborn child. Its bones are soft, its muscles are weak, but its grip is powerful. It doesn't know about the union of male and female, yet its male member can stand erect. So intense is its vital power. It can scream its head off all day, yet it never becomes hoarse. So complete is its harmony. The Master's power is like this. He lets all things come and go effortlessly, without desire. He never expects results. Thus, he's never disappointed. He's never disappointed. Thus, his spirit never grows old. So we're talking perhaps about the essence of the eternal child, the inner child within us that remains intact, us impassioned, intensely inspired and curious and connected and undamaged, untainted, uncorruptible in that purity and divinity in body. And so its essence, its chi, is so strong in this state of just neutral beingness. It doesn't know about the ego. It doesn't know about winning or losing or care versus neglect. All it knows is the essence and then the corresponding response. It doesn't know about the subtleties of societal mores and rules and dictates and norms. It has not been infiltrated by nurturing results and influencers, so to speak. And so it also talks about in that divinity, we are so incredibly divinely aligned between heaven and earth, purity in essence, that our light is so bright, that the voice, the vibration is supported, the essence of the desires and of our manifestation is fearless and unquestioning in that beginning state. And how soon does it become how soon does it falter on its path? And I feel when I get started, I often do have a little crackle in my voice, and it's coming in because I did actually look at the beginning of one of my videos, and it was very halting. It was very like trying to express, doubting for understanding, and not sure how to convey, how to carefully navigate understanding and acceptance from others versus the clarity and wisdom once I get going, and then once I have a few things on the table and I have a core message, or once I'm having fun with it, then I'm in the essence, I'm in the role of things. And so we're also talking about how we can then reflect upon what the ego's doing, what the emotions are doing, what the patterning is doing. We can kind of stand outside of oneself, ourself, witnessing the self in the mirror of others and in the mirror of the self, and see, why am I responding in specific ways, and how is my energy naturally responding to the influences of others. Like if you walk into a room and you just, keep quiet and nod and just kind of keep your head down, then probably you are fearing some type of judgment, or you have some type of basis for having some type of pre-existing judgments, whether from yourself, which probably came from your earlier environment, or from the literal people that you're around. You can even have people that seem to be supportive on the surface, but the body understands, the psyche and the subliminal spaces within, the dark spaces within us are responding in such a way like something doesn't seem quite right. And so in these instances, we're being told that we're cluing into multiversal evidence appearing as real, whether that's fear energy, whether that's projected energy from the fear complexes of others, a combination of all of these things together. And then, so I think too, it's talking about the urge for people to feel like we have to control and to direct, and we get so attached to specific outcomes, and we expect for things to go our way, for the good guys to win at the end of the day. But sometimes we see corruption so that it can be corrupted. We see the loophole so that we can tie a nice, neat little bow on it. And so let's see where we're going from here. So I want to say too, before getting too far in, Mahavijaya versus the Mahakali from yesterday. Mahakali is the first of the wisdom goddesses, where Mahavijaya is talking about the wisdom itself, that is the becoming process of moving past that. So it's the understanding of the interconnection between all things, which came out yesterday, as well as then being able to trust and flow with that. And how do I want to say this? To self-actualize from, perhaps, I want to say the solar plexus, but here we have the crown chakra for a reason. There's some kind of self-limiting belief, perhaps. Could be some type of cultural nurturing type societal belief. I'm seeing the Hierophant card, dogma. Control and power with the mind, like even taking the spirit and only believing in spirit when it can be evidenced by the material, or when we can justify it by something written in a scientific novel, versus the understanding that even if we cannot prove something, like it may be hard for you to prove that you are connected to your children telepathically, but in different instances, when you're synced up, you'll see evidence of that, perhaps. I mean, for those that are on the same page, right? Let's move on. Let's see what we've got for the code cards coming out. We have sacral chakra. I was seeing solar plexus, but sacral and solar plexus are right next to each other in the pit of the stomach here, and they're all the chakras are entangled. Here we have cosmic flower, 18. And I take cosmic flower to be the evolution, the bloom cycle, us in our becoming nature. And here we have empowerment and fertility, right? So I hope that music isn't too loud. It just got a little louder and I don't have any volume. Maybe we can just let those winds and waves help us to flow with this energy, kind of settling the energies down. I'm feeling like some need to kind of sink into an energy, to allow a heaviness, to allow ourselves to entertain a concept without instantly adapting or rejecting, and seeing the nuance, blending opposing viewpoints to understand the humanity between, the spaces between. Let's get a few more cards here. We're seeing remembrance, number 38. And belief. It seems like we're talking about, we've outgrown some type of limiting belief structure, or an old comfort zone, or attachment, or whatever it might be. An old lesson has been re-looked at, and we've outgrown it because we have growth, evolution with fertility here. Now we have soul time coming out on the bottom of the deck as well. Fertility. And in between them now we have emergence and delight. I think those are important as well. I'm seeing passion here too. And what's that? Communication, earth. I'm getting many things. Integration on the back here. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So when old information or old traditional accepted beliefs or even relationships or patterns are reconsidered, renegotiated, re-looked at, and outgrown, overcome, then suddenly those challenged beliefs are forced to become more flexible. It may create the tension and friction between cognitive dissonance, or between heart and mind, or between self and other, between parent and child, or let's say men and women, or whatever it might be emerging in the situation that we're looking at for you in particular. But I believe that we're looking at some types of remembered foundational belief structures, and we're questioning the foundations of that. That's why the Hierophant showed itself to me, to my mind's eye, because we're talking about perhaps for some people governmental, institutional, religious, schooling, different methods and ideological indoctrination cycles, and the need to really get deeply into the core of our understanding in a deeper, more transpersonal way. So to move beyond the blockages of the ego mind, and to allow the heart to blend with the high heart, was coming through yesterday. So this type of wisdom is being built upon still. So again, with the need to settle our energies, need to get into that meditative energy and let something kind of wash over you and come and go, to come in waves, so that we can think of it, we can get that emotional response, and then we can think of a new response, a new thought, a new reaction, a new consideration or nuance, and then allow that to kind of recede, think how it feels in our body, and then another wave of, well, what if this, what if that, the developing plot. And here we have delight, which to me tells me, and with the emergence of delight, a couple things keep coming through, but number one, not in a way to spiritually bypass or always only look towards the silver lining. It is very important for ourselves to, if we must look at oppression, control, power, violence, and any type of thing, person, place, thing, any type of noun or belief that comes forward to and creates anxiety, doubt, or fear, we need to carefully look at those pieces of information from a place of trust and faith and hope and deeper understanding. Like, let's say we unexpectedly lose our job, not putting that out there for anybody, but I think some of us have gone through this before, or we unexpectedly have to move, or an unexpected passing away of a loved one, or even the expected passing away. These things really bring us down to our knees sometimes, and we wonder how these things can be possible, why they are necessary. And it's part of the passion of life, and for whatever reason I'm hearing the passion of Christ, and like we're societally kind of imbued with this imagery of the martyr who has to suffer for redemption. And we could we can invoke that vibrational truth for ourselves, but I believe that what would feel better personally to myself is to understand that on the scientific end, matter can neither be created nor destroyed. It's a law of physics. And so therefore, energy is omnipresent and cannot go away from us. And so in some way, we can never be rejected or abandoned, because no matter how hard anyone could try to get away from us, they will always be entangled with the fibers of our beingness. And so we can also look at evil in this fearful way, like it keeps rearing its ugly head. Like yesterday we were talking about in one of the readings, a choice between lovers. So we've got new lover, old love. And I don't think that this should be taken in readings on the generic sense as evidence that we've always got these two lovers on deck being like devil and an angel. It's like, are we investing in the pattern or in the overcoming and the evolution from therein? And so are we investing in identification and eradication of our enemies, or escaping and eluding ourselves, deluding ourselves in some cases of our inner darkness? Or are we ready to embrace the reflection of the seed of that darkness within ourselves, and in so embracing that, being able to use that dark matter for something co-creative instead? Vibrational remained on the deck when I tried to pick up the deck and give it a little shuffle, and I wanted to say shake up. So I'm putting vibrational over the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra, as a reminder, is a very co-creative space. It's the gut instincts, our gut intuition, our digestion, our ability to integrate and digest and evolve and to create nourishment from the cycle, such as to integrate the fertile cycle, to contemplate what needs to happen, to choose to embrace the light, to emerge with the light intact, and then to empower that, to remember ourselves in the moment, to believe in the power of this light, to emerge and to continue to uplift us. This is how we embrace our growth cycle here. And that's how it's like we're either uplifting or pushing down in some senses at all times. It's the waves of the ocean. We're either receiving or giving. We're either magnetizing or electrifying and acting forward, influencing forward, asserting. So I guess we're talking about the divine vibrational dance of how we believe in the power of goodness and light. And we believe that the world is a reflection of ourselves. And so by contemplating the endless patterns and the waves that come back to us, that is the sonar, like the bat, like, oh, and then it kind of comes back, and it's like, it's in the live action Jim Carrey Grinch, he's like shouting into the cave. He's like trying to say something, hello, hello, and it echoes back to him. And then all of a sudden he's like saying negative things, and he's like, you're an idiot. And it's like, you're an idiot. And then he says, I'm an idiot. And it says, you're an idiot, or something like that. Anyways, it's like bringing me back to this playground thing of, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. It's talking about projection and how, we can push our energy forward, but just like the wave, it inevitably is going to be magnetized right back into ourselves. And so this is the kind of the critical understanding point of right now we're at this dilemma point collectively, like, when are we justified to take decisive action against our foes, and what type of escalation is righteous, and yes, all of those things. So let's see, a couple more cards. Yeah, we have knowledge here. There's some cosmic knowledge being downloaded here from above. And so whatever it is that, see, we've got these like earmuff energies here. I often talk about how this here reminds me of something I used to do when I was doing some energy work with other individuals, where it would almost be this like two pyramids with their bases together. I don't know what you call that. I guess it would be an 8-sided almost like a cube, but I mean, it's 6-sided, but it's not a hexagon. It's different. It's like 2 pyramids. So, anyways, here we go. So it was like with the ears, also with the third eye in the back of the neck, and then also the front of the neck and the crown. And it was like this multi-stage kind of container, and it seemed like something that was Egyptian in orientation. And there's been this imagery of being blasted by these energetic downloads and having some type of like an emanation like this, powering up, and then it's like whoosh. Oh yeah, the Fifth Element, that movie keeps coming through as well. And as this divine being, the perfect being in the universe, and the ultimate weapon against all evil, in the last scene, the energy does come down, and then it's like it blasts forward from her, and it's like she's just like emanating this light. And it's kind of like an experience like that. And I'm seeing some of you may be having these breakthrough experiences, or maybe remembering what it felt like to have some type of a breakthrough energy, such as that in a type of meditation, and remembering what that Christed energy, that unity energy, feels like in your body. So again, I'm running out of time. Let's see if we can get a few more cards here and round up the messages here. So we're paying attention to our environment. We're listening to the waves as they return. Cosmic Flower. We're uplifting the energies, making contact with some type of, some evolutionary ascension. Yeah, evolution with up is ascension. Absolutely, vibrational ascension. Empowerment and worthy. Yes, if you believe that this time and space is worthy and that you are worthy, there is a big transformation coming through now. We've got frequency shift above remembrance. And let's see, can we get belief? Having faith. The proper beliefs really steers our reality and determines the critical mass of energy and vibrational resonance, with the purity of getting back to that purest, eternal, childlike essence, spontaneous trust, and unconditional love from the heart space with harm to none, and guarding children from themselves. You don't, yeah. I'll cancel that message. Return to spirit, coming over soul time. Get back to your spiritual practice. Take good care of yourself. Ground and uplift your energies. Don't stay where your energies are being brought low. Endless opportunities say, maybe you need to turn off the news just for a moment. You can do more good by doing a meditative practice of a return to love, and wishing that anyone who is in a period or a state of unconsciousness be brought back into